A wonderful good morning, dear LinkedIn community and industrial experts out there from the wonderful city of Hamburg, the north part of Bavaria, the north part of Germany, of course. Not everything is Bavaria. We are going to talk in English right now, as you may hear, because we have an international company here, a middle sized company. The company is called Winkler, and they are in the southern part of Germany, also in a nice place. And we will talk today about forward and backward integrations of SMEs. And I would like to introduce you to Daniel Ernst. He is the head of engineering, director of technology. He will introduce himself in more detail in a short while. And we have also Michael Walther here, and he is a long time with Winkler in the R&D function and business development function. Yes, welcome both gentlemen to my show, and thanks for sharing your insights in product development of temperature control devices.
Hello, thanks Ilkay for having us.
Yeah, Ilkay, thanks for the introduction. Yeah, it's great.
So this is not the first time that I have Winkler in my LinkedIn live streams. Actually, we have a stream of events that we have scheduled for the remainder of this year. And the purpose of the stream is to show you a typical German middle-sized company, how they're going to tackle technical issues, strategic issues around innovation, technology, and also entrepreneurship. To this end, just be reminded, save the date on the 22nd of June, we will have the CEO of Winkler in our LinkedIn Live already. So if you are listening today and watching today our LinkedIn Live here in the live stream, we would like to know from you guys, can you see us good? Can you hear us good? And write down from where you're watching today, because we would like to, of course, measure also the reach of the stream. Well, let's start with a small and short introduction. Daniel, could you just tell our community a little bit about your role at Winkler?
Yes, hello, I'm Daniel. I'm actually responsible for the engineering, product management, and quality department at Winkler. I'm only half a year with the company so far, but it's already a very, very interesting, very dynamic market and company as well. So I really enjoy working here.
Yeah, my name is Michael Walther, and I started with Winkler already more than 6 years ago. And I started, like Ilkay announced, with as a business developer in Winkler. So that's why I had to focus at the beginning on our temperature controllers. These days, I'm head of sales division temperature controllers and container heaters. So we had a long journey already with the temperature controller, bringing them to the point as we have them today. And yeah, I'm looking forward to give you more information and an inside view of our product range today.
Fantastic. So, dear community, if you see my fingers sometimes going over the screen, I'm just checking the settings of the StreamYard and the layouts, because I'm on the go right now, and unfortunately some of my technology did not work today. So I'm going live here with the mobile phone, which is excellent, because it's very simplified to go live, and it's very easy to go live even if you are hundreds of miles away from your home. So let me start with giving you my feeling, gentlemen. The first time when I went to Winkler and we discussed and exchanged a lot of technical issues and talked about the technologies, I was wondering, Winkler is very much famous for their flexible heating systems, and you have in these flexible heating systems, you have glass fiber mats, you have different layouts, and we are seeing also some of your systems over there, which we will also have a look at right now. And my question is, these temperature controllers are basically something that for the flexible heating is an integrated part that can be also purchased around the world. And but you have gone the way and you've integrated this in your own production. And how did it come that Winkler, as someone who is very much into flexible heating, which is a production process with sewing machines, with different kinds of materials, goes the way along into electronics and starts producing temperature controllers? How did that happen? What was this caught or root thinking about it?
Yeah, I would give an answer to that, and you are absolutely right, Ilkay. Winkler is known more than 40 years for his flexible electrical heaters. And these are heating jackets, heated hoses, silicone heaters, different kinds of heaters. And from the beginning, we customized our heaters to the customer needs. And so it didn't take a long time that the customers asked us, how can I control our heaters? There are many temperature controllers in the market, and then we started purchasing temperature controllers from other suppliers. And so we experienced that we had to customize those temperature controllers. They wanted to have other feed-throughs, they want to have other sockets to the housing, they wanted to have a specific set points already set by factory. And so this became more and more, and the market asked for a customized design as well for the temperature controllers, and as well to having them as a set, a complete set of heater and temperature controllers. And it became more and more difficult to fulfill the wishes of the customers with not having them in-house, not having the possibility to do all these settings of parameters and so on. That's why we started more than 10 years ago with the own product range of temperature controllers. With all the feedback we got from our customers, we said on the highest topic, it has to be really easy to be usable, best everybody can just grab it and start plug and play and having the product with our heaters, and then no more questions, not having the need for taking operational manual. And this was our main focus by developing those temperature controllers. By side, of course, the temperature controllers has to last long life, have a long life, hybrid relays, and other triac inside, that we have the product really for industrial use, made for industrial use. This was the start, and we developed over more than 10 years now our portfolio and range of temperature controllers. So we ended up with a really big portfolio now. And we can say the journey was not clear right from the beginning. We had sometimes to rearrange our focus, not hitting into the wrong direction, but with the steadily feedback of our really good customers, we developed, you can say, more or less our controllers for the need of the market.
I do understand there is a customization there, and you are more flexible and you can set them up individually. But let me critically ask you, there are controller manufacturers, we would in Germany say like sand on the beach. So many. So why did you then decide to make them in-house rather than to purchase them? You could also give the engineering also outside and get your customized controllers from elsewhere.
Yes, that's maybe a thing I can answer. So if you decide as a small company as Winkler is to go into such a new market where you have not been into, you basically need three things. One is you need a market, right? You need to know that there is a specific market for a specific product that we already knew, because we are already selling controllers, but just not producing and developing them in-house. The second thing is you do need somehow a customer need or a pain the customer have, you can solve. And the third one is you need a lot of commitment, because when you start this journey, I mean, in the beginning, of course, it's not clear how to reach it, how to end it, and if you will be successful in the end. And for us, the most important one was the second point. So we realized with the controller portfolio we were buying from another supplier, we actually could not fulfill all the needs our customers had. So our customers are a lot of times not electricians or technicians who are used to deal, for example, with controllers. So they want to have an easy, simple installation. They had issues with that sometimes other people were pressing the buttons and changing the set point. So there must be possibilities. There's something where you cannot change set points. So there were really 4 or 5 things where we could really focus on and say, well, I mean, these points we want to solve for our customers. And when we can solve it better than our competition, we will be successful in this field. And I think that was what Michael and our controls development team did very well, focusing really on this specific market, on the specific needs the customers had in this market, and then making a very specific controller, what a normal manufacturer does not do, because they usually make a controller for, let's say, a lot of applications, but not that specific as we did.
Mm-hmm. Let's. Can you walk us through these controllers, these temperature controllers that you have put in place now? What are the real benefits, the ones you are basically developing and researching and customizing for the applications? What are the core benefits of using those controllers?
The core benefits are definitely all our controllers you can get as a plug and play version. So as you can see here, you can have the plug and with the socket, it's fitting together for different amperes. Then you having these controllers really like mobile devices that you have it with you in an application that is transportable, for example, like here, a small heater, which has to be movable easily, so the controller cannot be too a big one and should be light, but still robust. And this is what those controllers here can fulfill very well. Then we're having our range of wall mounting controllers for wall mounting, and they have a visible display. You can see exactly what you have, which set point you have, what is the current temperature, and then you can go easy into the menu. I can show quickly. I don't want to go into the details, but it's safe that it's not can be opened. That's haven't seen that one. And it's on the other side as well. Okay, so then here you have the possibility with only 2 fingers, you can enter into the menu. You have different languages, so also it can be used with the English menu, Spanish, French menu. And then if you enter into the set point easily, you can change it and enter, then you have the new set point enter. And the same you can do with many sorts of sensors, which are all included in all of our wall mounting temperature controllers. So the plug and play issue and the long life hybrid relay are the one in many important technical features. They separate our controllers to other controllers. And on top, they're having additional safety relay in serial, which have so the controller would shut off in the case of failure that happens. And the controller
let's
detects itself.
maybe to make it a bit easier to grab, I can just name 3 specific issues our customers had, which we were solving. For example, one of the things is such a controller quite often is not installed somewhere where you can reach it. It's installed 3, 4, 5 meters up somewhere. But you still want to have the ability to change the set points, the temperature. So what we developed is a simple IR interface, so an infrared interface, and you just get a remote control, so you can in fact stand 3, 4, 5 meters on the floor level and change set points, press enter, and then you get the feedback, well, yes, the new setting is inside. So this was a specific issues our customer had, which we were solving. The second example is we do have customers who use actually a temperature controller always for the same settings. So for them, we do, and in a very rough environment, for example, on the shop floor somewhere. So for them, we have developed this. So it's a very simple, very robust, you can almost not destroy it. And it's already preset with the right temperature when you order it ex work. So you just plug and play. And if you never change the temperature, you're all fine. And then if still you have the need to change the temperature, you can still do it with a remote control over the interface, but you avoid that somebody who should not change it just presses some buttons or changes it.
Yeah, so we have many options. This is one thing that we can work with a fixed set point, but also we can adjust the range of the set point to a certain limit, let me say 0 to 150 degrees C, and then you still have the option also to enter a new set point, but only in this certain range. So it's also sure that you cannot go over the maximum heating temperature of your process or of the heater itself. And then when our controllers are connected to that handheld, you see it's changing the LED light, intermediate green, white in this case, and then only this controller can get the set point changed and not by accident the other one. So this is secured. So we have many, like you said, we have many technical features implemented in our temperature controller, which really differs to the market, or having a very strong 40 amps temperature controller, which saves the cabinet in some cases for very long heat tracings with self-regulating heating cable, for example. So there are many different applications we took from the market and we adapted specific our temperature controllers to that needs.
Yeah, fantastic description. So to sum this up and summarize this, it appears to me that you have the behaviors of your customers, customer behaviors when using and applying them always in your mind. Yeah, like the remote control with the infrared that goes many meters away probably in order to get this remotely controlled. You have this in your mind and trying to help, of course, to overcome the hurdles that are existing in a factory environment, in a process environment. And so that brings me to the question then, how do you integrate the R&D function with your customers' requirements? How do you get this information? How do you feed this information into your R&D of these temperature controllers? Do you get a feedback directly from the customers? Are you working together with your sales team to audit the requirements that are in the factory? How can I visualize this?
Yes, I mean we in fact we do two things. On the one hand, we have Michael, who was mainly responsible on the sales and business development side for controllers. So he was trying to talk to all the major customers, get all the insights, all the inputs, go maybe with the customers to an installation to see, well, with your current controller you currently have, which issues do you have? Because if they have an issue which we can solve, then we have a good point, a good selling point for a development of a controller, which we can then sell. And then we do have, of course, a lot of experienced or very experienced sales force who are also in day-to-day contact with their customers and also have inputs and ideas, which are all canalized and in the engineering development of course, then a bit prioritized, and then we try to be very reactive. I can give you an example. For example, we have a controller who did not have any interface, right? You could not connect it to a computer or to anything else. And then we got a request from one of our biggest customers. Well, we would like to connect it to our in-house communication system. And after 3 weeks, we could send a prototype with a functioning communication, with a small board developed. They could test it, and after 2 months, we had it in serious production. I mean, that's one of the examples where we really got an issue from the customers, tried to understand it, solved it, sent a prototype, they tested it, it's all right, and then they very, very quick had a solution for their issue.
So that's a pretty fast turnaround time, yeah, pretty fast, yeah. 2 to 3 weeks to make a electronic part is certainly a task
prototype.
Prototype, of course. Yeah. Okay, so I do understand the process right now, and now you got this R&D done. You got the prototype that is validated by the customer. Excuse me, and now it becomes more or less a serial production. So do you make a single part production? Do you have serials? Do you have mass production? I guess it's a mix, or isn't it?
Yes, I mean it's of course a serious production. So we do have everything relatively well standardized, but with a configuration possibility, right? So as said, I mean, one of the pain points of our customers was they did not want to send somebody there to set the set points and program the controller. So you can just already order that, and then automatically it will be configured and programmed with the right parameters, the right temperature set point, and so on. You can, of course, in a certain variance, you can change colors, the cable connector, the socket pins. So all those things brings a lot of variance, but it's all configuration, and it's very standardized in the production, similar as in the automotive industry. Right, and then, I mean, when we get such a new request, for example, as the request from this customer with the interface, then we start with a small, let's say, small production batch, right? So a first batch, then we see if it all works. We have it under very close quality control, and if everything is fine, and the quantity is raised, we bring it also into serious production.
Yeah, maybe also interesting point. We came already out of this focus only producing the temperature controllers for Winkler for ourselves. Already we having also OEM customers because they like our concept. They having not numbers of millions of temperature controllers maybe, so they are in the range we produce up to thousands, 10,000s, but not into the millions yet. So they ask us for series, and then we can fulfill if it's in our portfolio in the adaptation they need, and then they will receive a prototype with their OEM labeling. So you even won't see that it's a Winkler controller, and this we have already in several places. Yeah. So this shows how far is our development of the temperature controllers, and I would say we had been really successful over the years and getting a nice portfolio, and we still having a nice portfolio what we want to develop. The ideas are not running out. We are still having a lot of ideas what we can do, and we are really, I think this is the key issue, in close contact, permanent close contact with our customers, and so we really take their needs and try to adapt them in our products.
Of course, because ideas, customers never run out of ideas, and they do things that are totally innovative, and it's important to respond to those things. Okay, actually, my questions are pretty much answered. Yeah, and I'm seeing we have a few guests out of the community. Thanks, Markus, Jack, Andreas, and Mike for joining our LinkedIn Live so far. One final question that comes into my mind is, now looking at those controllers that you have on your desk. Of course, they got this corporate color, the red, ready to heat color, the red color. This might be an odd question for you as an engineering and technology minded people, but how is the design, the visual design of these controllers? I'm seeing they have this signature color, but I'm sure it has also a function, the signal function, isn't it?
Well, that's maybe a feature we did not have in mind so far. No,
Yeah.
I mean, so far the main functionality of the red color is the Winkler branding, I would say.
Yeah.
Because usually you don't have the controller somewhere on the floor where you can fall over it. So the main functionality, or the main is really the branding that you can see. It's a Winkler controller, which we by the way also have in other colors for original equipment manufacturers. If they buy it with their branding, they usually take a neutral black or gray color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can
you
can get a hint in green, yellow, blue, other colors.
Okay.
And so this is the nice thing. You can adapt to the branding colors of the customer. You can offer that easily. And so you can say this is a brand adaptation function.
Okay, wonderful. All right. So thank you, gentlemen, for your time and for these insights on the temperature controllers. Anything else you would like to add from your side?
Well, it's just if somebody, specifically smaller companies, are really thinking about entering new markets, I would just say do it, but try to find really a pain point, an issue your customer has, and if you can solve it, already half of the, let's say, of the journey is done. Because I mean, that's key. That is also what we are doing. I mean, if you just would produce standard controllers, you would not be successful. It's really those key things our customers have each day in their daily work, pain with their current solution, which we can solve. I mean, that's one of the keys you have to find. And if you have one, I mean, then just get started.
Yeah, definitely. It added value to our product, and it adds value as well to other customers, temperature controller customers' product. So there has to be an added value in the end. And so we decided, and I think we really got a good product, and the feedback gives us the answer that we had been right to go this way.
All right. So thank you, gentlemen. Then thanks for also the community for joining our LinkedIn live stream today, which you, by the way, can also enjoy as a podcast soon. So we will take the interview and put it on the podcast. You have this afternoon, there will be a live stream. We will repeat this live stream on the Winkler side. And yeah, thank you for your loyalty. Thank you, Daniel and Michael, for the insights that you have given the community, and we look forward continuing this. And for now, I wish you all a fantastic weekend and see you next week.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Ilkay, thank you for having us. It was a pleasure. Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.